Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm checking out the Nebo Slim Plus 1200. So I already took the light out of the box here. Check out the box, the Slim Plus 1200 on the back. We have our typical lumens and runtime information. Then it comes with a small user manual and a USB to Type-C charging cable. And that's it, pretty basic here. So let me put all this off to the side. And I'll give you guys a nice close-up of the Nebo Slim Plus 1200 here. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. So the Nebo Slim Plus 1200 features 7 lighting modes. That includes 4 white light modes plus strobe and a red light mode plus a red strobe. And everything is controlled with a single side switch. On turbo, it has a maximum output of 1200 lumens and a 52 meter throw. And it also has a red laser mode that I'm sure your cats will absolutely love. I know mine do. The body's made of an anodized aircraft-grade aluminum, and the Slim Plus 1200 is also a power bank that can charge your phone. The battery inside is a built-in 3.7 volt, 1500 milliamp hour lithium-ion rechargeable battery. And you can charge that battery with the included USB Type-C charging cable. It roughly takes 2 to 4 hours to fully charge that battery. And the Slim Plus 1200 comes with multiple mounting options. There's a pocket clip on the back that's also magnetic, and on the bottom of the flashlight there's a magnetic base. It's IPX7 waterproof. The X means the dust proofing wasn't tested, and the 7 means it's submersible in up to 3 feet of water for 30 minutes. It's also impact resistant. I just couldn't find the impact resistant numbers anywhere. Alright, so what about the dimensions? It comes in at 4.45 inches by 1.69 inches and has a thickness of 0.87 inches. And according to my weight test, it comes in at 4.9 ounces. That's 138 grams. Alright, so now let's take a closer look at the Nebo Slim Plus 1200 here. You know, this is my very first flashlight in the Slim series. The first Slim, I believe, was 500 lumens. And the Slim Plus was 700 lumens. So this is a pretty big upgrade, at least in the Lumen territory. And honestly, when I was buying this, I thought it was gonna be a lot smaller, more compact than what it is. Not that this thing is huge, but I just thought it was gonna be a lot smaller. But being made of anodized aluminum, it actually feels pretty solid. It feels very nice when you're holding it in your hands. On the back here, it has a pocket clip, and right above that pocket clip there's a magnet, and it does have a magnetic base as well right here on the bottom. And Nebo is advertising this as a work light. So as a work light, having those mounting options is definitely a plus. Based on this design here, this front-facing LED and this pocket clip, you can put this right in your pants pocket or your shirt pocket, and you have yourself a pretty nice little headlight, if you will. Or if you're working under the hood of your car, just stick this right to the bottom of your hood. And the magnet's pretty powerful. It actually works very nice for that. And with this magnetic base here, this magnet is powerful enough to stand straight out horizontal like this. So like I said, all these mounting options on this flashlight being a work light, it's a nice touch. Now, one thing I don't like about this flashlight is it has an internal 3.7 volt, 1500 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery that you cannot change out. Technically, you probably could. There's 2 screws right here on the bottom to take off this magnetic base. But what I mean is you can't just easily just switch out and replace the battery once it goes dead. For the most part, if this battery ever dies on you, this is just a nice paperweight. But I am glad this is charged with a USB Type-C that's right under this rubber flap here, and they do give you the Type A to Type C charging cable. That was nice of them, I guess. And right next to this charging port right here, you're gonna see where the red laser shoots out. Now I'll go over the operations and modes of this flashlight a little bit later on in this video. Now if I get in real close here, hopefully you guys can see that the Slim Plus 1200 uses cob LEDs. You can see those right there, I hope. And you can probably tell just by the shape of this lens here that this is going to be a floodlight for sure. What's the numbers here? On turbo, 1200 lumens, 52 meters of throw. That's not a heck of a lot of throw. Now it does have a battery life indicator, and it's located right under this rubber flap right here where the charging port is. And I'm just going to show you guys real quick. When it's charging, it does have a red LED when charging, and if it's fully charged, it glows green. But as a battery life indicator, it's pretty simplistic. Basically, if you're over 10%, it's going to show green, and if you're under 10%, it's going to show red. That's not the greatest battery life indicator in the world, but I guess at least it's something. And also what I really liked about this Slim Plus is it's supposed to feature a power bank. So if I ever have this out in the field, or if I have this at work and my phone battery dies, I could easily just plug in my phone charger and charge up my phone. Unfortunately, I just can't get that power bank option to work, at least on the version that I have right here. Now, of course, since they only give you a Type A to Type C cable with this flashlight, that's not going to work with charging your phone because the only port is this Type C port that's an in and an out. So even my normal charging cable for my iPhone isn't gonna work here. So luckily I do have this little Pitaka charging kit here where I have a Type C to Type C, and then I can add a lightning connector right there so I can connect the Type C to the flashlight and then the lightning to my phone here. And as you can see, right there in the corner, nothing is charging. And I've tried everything. I've tried button presses, holding down the button when it was off, holding down the button when it's on. Nothing seems to work here at all. So then I figured something was wrong with my charging cable here. Well, in this little kit comes a USB Type A adapter, and then I grabbed my Anchor power bank right here, and as soon as I plugged it in, right there, starts to charge. So nothing is wrong with my charging cable here. I just think there's a problem with its power bank capabilities on this Slim Plus 1200 here. I just cannot get this to work. All right, so now let's start talking about the UI here. The Slim Plus 1200 has 7 total lighting modes. Everything is controlled with a single side switch right here. And I'll pop up on the screen right now those 7 lighting modes. Turbo, of course, is 1200 lumens, has a runtime of 30 minutes, and has a maximum throw of 52 meters. Goes right down the list. Even high at 700 lumens is pretty nice in this flashlight. 41 meter throw, an hour and 45-minute runtime. Medium is 350 and low is 30. So I really like the spacing of the modes here. Even low at 30, I always wish there's a 1 lumen moonlight mode, but this being a quote-unquote work light, I don't think we really need a 1 lumen moonlight mode. So I think 30 on low is pretty perfect. And then medium being 350 lumens and then doubling that for high, I think is absolutely perfect. And then almost doubling that again at 1200 for turbo. So I really like the mode spacing here. Then we go to strobe, 700 lumens. Both red modes, red and red strobe, are both 8 lumens. And then that red laser, we have a 20-hour runtime. All right, so let's get back to the UI here. So a single press on that side switch takes us right to high. There's our 700 lumens. And then a single press again takes us to medium. Press again for low. Press again for red, and then one more press for off. And while we're in any of the white lighting modes, if we double press, there's our strobe, double click again, and it turns off the strobe. Now there is a direct access to our red light. While it's off, you just have to double press that side switch. There's our red mode right there, 8 lumens. And while it's in red, double click, there's our red strobe, and then double press again to go right back to that red mode. So this is how you activate turbo. It has to be on first. There's our high, and then to activate turbo, you have to hold down that side switch, and there's our 1200 lumen turbo. And then of course from turbo, we can single click that side switch for high, medium, low, and then red to off. And from what I've seen here, there is no memory. So if I have it on medium and the light goes off, it won't go back to medium. It seems to always go back to that 700 lumen high right there. Now the UI here is pretty simplistic, but there are a few things that I don't like about it. The first thing I don't like here is there's no direct access to turbo. You have to first turn on the flashlight and then press and hold the side switch to activate turbo. And the next thing I really don't like about this is there's no real convenient, easy way to turn off the flashlight. So once it's on, the only way to turn it off from here is to cycle through the 4 modes to turn it off. So for me, I like to just grab a flashlight real quick, turn it on for a couple seconds, and then find whatever I'm looking for, and then turn it right off. Here, you can see I'm cycling through the modes just to turn it off. Or the other way to turn it off is you have to wait 10 seconds. So let me put it on medium here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, click it off. Now it can go off. And you guys might think that's fine, but I think 10 seconds is entirely too long to wait, especially if you just want to grab this flashlight, click the button to see, find something, and then turn it back off. No, 10 seconds is entirely too long, at least in my opinion. Generally, when a flashlight does this, it's usually about 3 to 5 seconds to turn off the flashlight after you stop pressing that side switch. So for me, I think that makes the user experience pretty goofy and fumbly. All right, so now let's talk about turbo. 1200 lumens, 30 seconds with that pesky little asterisk right there. And that asterisk means after 30 seconds, light returns to the previously used mode to prevent overheating and protect the battery, and then it can be reactivated at any time. Well, that's what I want to test out right here. I'm going to time to see if we can really get 30 seconds on 1200 lumen turbo, and then I'm going to do that multiple times just to see if it will reactivate instantly and see how hot this body gets. So since turbo steps down to its previously used mode after it steps down, I'm going to put it on low just so we can definitely see that step down. So right there, and I'm going to try to do this at the same time. Hold it down and press start. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. So it was around 33 seconds or so. I'll put the exact time on the screen when it started stepping down, but that's pretty good. So I'm going to stop it right there and then reset. And then let's do it again to see if it goes right back to turbo. All right, there's turbo again. All right, that was right around 31 seconds. That's pretty good. And then let's do it one more time. Go. 30. Right around 30, 31 seconds. So that's awesome. So let me get a temperature reading here. And right there at the body where I would be holding it is 87.2 degrees Fahrenheit. And right near the head, well, actually a little cooler. Let me get right above the head here. 87 degrees. So this is completely manageable. It's not hot at all. That's actually pretty impressive. So Nebo's claims of a 30-second turbo and being able to reactivate it at any time, to me, are true. I know that wasn't a super scientific test, but for me, I'm satisfied. All right, so now it's time to check out this beam out here. You can see what I'm seeing. It's pretty dark, actually. It looks a little bit lighter on this phone. I'm using the iPhone 13 Pro. So let's try this on high. All right, there's our 700 lumen high. Wow, look at that flood. I mean, from all the way over there to there, that is crazy how floody this light is. So let's go to medium. Whoa, that just turned off. So there's that, what I was talking about, that 10 seconds. But there's medium, there's low, and there's our red. Whoa. Check that out. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's go back to high and then press and hold for turbo. Yeah, there we go. 1200 lumen turbo. Couldn't really tell too much of a difference, actually. So I don't remember the distance from where I'm standing to those trees back there, but because this is not a thrower, I can barely even make out those trees. I'll put it on the screen, the distance from where I am to where those trees are. And actually, let's walk over there now. All right, so here we go. There are the trees I was talking about. I'm just gonna turn it right on turbo. There we go. Wow. I mean, this is such a floodlight. You can barely see the circle it's making, the beam pattern. There is absolutely no hot spot at all. It's pretty even from one side to another, as you guys can probably see, but there's no way I can get this whole beam in my shot. It's just so wide. There we go. So I just step down. There's high, medium, low, and then we are picking up some red here. Pretty nice. Now just one more example of this beam. I'll put it right on high. There we go. Wow. You can hear those frogs in there. And click and hold turbo. You can easily see the top of those trees, but I'm not that far. I'm about, I would say, I don't know, it's tough to judge, about 20 feet from the base of where I'm standing to that tree right dead center right there. And there we go. Turn around. I mean, if you guys are looking for a floodlight, this bad boy delivers as a flood, let me tell you. All right, so let's wrap this up here. What do I like? Well, I like the 1200 lumen output. I think being a floodlight is absolutely perfect, especially being a advertised work light. I think the mode spacing is pretty good. I like that it has a USB Type-C. I think the red laser here is a nice touch, even though I don't really know what I would use it for. I dig the pocket clip here. It has a lot of nice tension on it. I like the magnetic mounting options as well. I like that it's IPX7 waterproof. You don't have to worry about rain or anything like that with this flashlight. I wanted to put the power bank in my likes, but since the power bank doesn't work, I'm going to put that in my negatives. And based on the beam test I just did, I sort of like the color temperature here. I wish it was a little bit warmer, especially if they're advertising this as a work light. If you're under the hood, the cooler the temperature, the worse it is, of course, because then you can't really tell the actual color of wires. The warmer, the better. But as you can see, it's more of a white light leaning on the cool side, so maybe that goes in my negatives. And that leads me to what I don't like about this flashlight. Well, first thing, I already mentioned two of them. I don't like that there's no direct access to turbo, and I don't like the goofy way you have to turn this off. Also, I don't like that there's no memory function, but that might also have to do with the goofy way you have to turn this off. And I almost forgot to mention, there is no lockout mode, so that definitely has to go in my negatives. I don't like that I can't get the power bank function to work on this particular flashlight. I don't know if this one is broken or it's defective in some way, but I can't get it to work. And based on all that, I don't like the $50 price tag either. I think if just a couple of those negatives were fixed, I might want to buy this again, but until they get those negatives fixed here, I probably wouldn't buy this again, not at 50 bucks. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Nebo Slim Plus 1200? Now, if you want to check this out for yourself, I will have links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!